Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got 3 packages in 3 separate cards. I mentioned 2 of the cards that were in the mail in my last video. If you want to check that out, it'll be linked up here and down below. And then the other card I haven't mentioned yet, so it'll be a surprise for you. But we're going to jump into all that right after this. So before we do get started, I always mention, if you aren't already, make sure you do consider hitting that subscribe button and turning the bell notifications button on so you never miss a future video. And even drop a like and a comment saying what players you've been picking up, what players you've seen a profit on, or maybe what players you want to pick up in the future. And with all that being said, let's jump into today's video. So I always introduce the background. Today I switched it up again. I didn't want to put the graded because I feel like I've just been putting the same ones until I get more. The next video I could put the ones that I get in this mail day. But we just got the Fleer Dennis Rodman rookie, just raw, and a raw Donovan Mitchell base. You're going to see some of that in this video. So the first card that we picked up is that Donovan Mitchell rated rookie optic, but the red and yellow parallel PSA 10. Now, this card, like I mentioned in the latest video, I bought one like this maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago for, I believe, $45. And I think I snagged this one on eBay for $50. The thing with this card is the base card graded PSA 10 has just recently started going up. So I think since that was around, I say 40, because I bought a previous one, PSA 10, for 40 a couple weeks ago, it's up to around 60, 65 now, and that's just started going up these last couple weeks. And this one has seen not too much of an increase, but I believe once this card starts to, reach the 100, maybe a little over $100 price range, people are going to start looking into this card more and more variants. The variants are very cheap. This card in general is very underpriced. There's some variants, PSA 10s that are upwards of, over $100, $200. But this red yellow is very cheap. I know you can get like the disco for a pretty good deal. And the base right now, you can get a really good deal, and they have just started going up. So if you haven't already, I think maybe picking up 1 or 2 of these cards would be very beneficial. Red or yellow, or maybe even base would probably be a better route. The next card is another base card because I decided, I should go out and get another one. This is my second one of the base. This is also my second one. I don't know if I mentioned that, of the red yellow. I have 2 of these, and I have 3 raws that I don't know if I'll send to get graded. Maybe in the future if they see a really high spike in price. But this one, again, I decided to go out just because I paid $40 for one a couple weeks ago. And like I said, these were going for about $60, $65. I was able to snipe this off a bid on eBay for $55. So, $10, $5 below market price. No, it's not a big chunk below market price, but, saving any sort of money is always a good thing. Especially because I think Donovan Mitchell is very underpriced, like I said, in my opinion. I think he is a very hot young superstar that's kind of overlooked, and I think once the NBA starts coming back, he starts playing, all players really start playing. His cards, I think, will start going up. They are starting to see a small increase in price gradually, but once the NBA does come back and he gets back on the court, I think his rookie card, especially because this is optic, and optics tend to do well. If you look into, John Morant's optic, Zion's optic, Trae Young optic, like all those hot names, they are all doing well. So I think this card will be one of those to start jumping up there as well. And the last card that I have not mentioned yet is this 2018 Panini Prism rookie Jaren Jackson Jr. PSA 10. Now, I believe this card can have very high upside, or it may even be a complete bust. The reason for this is big men always don't get the hype surrounding sports, surrounding sports betting, maybe sports cards. They always don't get the hype. They're kind of overlooked for, the more hyped players, more skilled players, I guess, if you want to call it, like the Zions, the Trae Youngs, the John Morant's, like, on his team. That's another plus why I think this can have an upside, because he's playing along John Morant, who is a big, already young superstar, where his card prices, John Morant, are up there near Zion, Luka, people like that. And the good thing about that is when people start, buying John Morant cards, they keep increasing the market for John Morant. Those people are going to want to go out and, watch some John Morant gameplays to make sure their cards that they bought are going to still have their value if John Morant is doing good. And while those people are doing that, watching John Morant, they're also going to get some gameplay of Jaren Jackson Jr. and, of course, the other players on the Grizzlies. So through the 2019-2020 season, obviously it isn't ended yet. It is postponed still, not in action. Jaren Jackson was averaging about 16.9, so we'll just say 17-ish points per game, with an average of around 4.7 rebounds. John Morant was averaging a little bit more than him, about probably like 17.6 points per game. I think that's pretty decent, almost like 17 points per game for a big man down low. Like I said, probably not getting as much hype as those higher name players, but playing alongside John Morant. John Morant keeping up the hype, keeping up the prices high for himself will start to boost more watch time on him, start to boost more watch time on players like this guy, which can lead to high upside. But they are also very young players, like I said, just like fresh rookies, not even a couple years in the league. 2018 rookie, so just a couple years in the league. They have very high potential to grow in the league, but they also have very high potential to bust. You know what I mean? Next season, they could be completely horrible. John Morant's cards could go down. This could be a bust. But, this card isn't super expensive, but it's not also super cheap. I picked this card up they were going for about like $70 to $75. I won a bid for, I believe, 63 or 65. I'm not exactly sure. And then after shipping and tax, it came out to about 73. So I still got this for a little bit less than what some were going for, even after shipping and taxes. So I still got a good deal on it. Like I said, very high potential upside, very high potential bust, but I still think this is a great card to look into and even maybe pick one up for yourself. Alright guys, well that is it for today's video. Again, we have the Jaren Jackson Jr. PSA 10 card. We have the Donovan Mitchell base optic, and we have the Donovan Mitchell red yellow optic. That's what our mail day consisted of today. Again, if you aren't already, make sure you do consider hitting that subscribe button and turning the bell notification button on so you never miss an upcoming and future video. And even drop a like and a comment saying what players you picked up, if maybe you picked up some of these players or players you want to pick up in the future that you think will be a good option to pick up and could see some very high upside. Drop them down below in the comments, and that would be very good to help out each other. With all that being said, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and peace.